Hey everybody, it's Daphne from Laura Entertainment. We are sitting down with guitar legend, Mr. West Beach. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you? Hmm.
Surprisingly good. The weather's not that bad. There's no snow on the ground, so I'm good.
Yeah. Eh,
So what you been up to?
just writing songs and working and keeping busy. Just not enough hours in the day for me.
You're right about that. My direction either. I'm telling you, it always feels like by the time you get anything done, it's probably 1, 2 in the morning. And
Oh,
then
that's usually when I get up.
really? That's
Yeah,
early.
12:30, 1 o'clock.
Wow. So you're like an afternoon sleeper.
Not really. I'm not like a non-sleeper. I'll take a nap about 8 o'clock at night, maybe for a couple hours, and then I'll try and go to bed and not much sleep.
So what are you working on? I mean, can you talk about the song? Is there a non-disclosure or
Oh no, I just recorded a song with a guy named Bloody Mess. And the name of the song is Wax Fruit, and you can check it out. It's on YouTube. And it's a really cool kind of a pop punk rocker, and it's a very timely message.
timely?
Very, very timely. Yeah.
Bloody Mess. That's an interesting name. How
Yeah,
d
he's been around for a while. I mean, this he just put out a CD called Dark Days Unfazed, and he invited me to contribute a song to it. So I played the guitar, played the bass, and I enlisted ex Plasmatics drummer TC Tolliver to play on it, and it came out really good. It's getting a lot of attention right now.
wow. How long
In
you
fact,
been playing?
well, oh, longer time, longer than I care to remember. But in fact, I'm doing an interview on his radio show tonight called the Church of Rock.
That after are they gonna go live or is he gonna record it?
He's going to record it.
Record. Same.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
It's easier that way. I've noticed I started to go live, I think it was maybe 2 times. And both times the audio was shit
No.
because you could hear it bounce, the echoes, and then there was delays, and I just cut it. I jumped us out of there and I was like, "We're just gonna have to record it
Right.
at this
Right.
point."
Sometimes that's the best way to go.
It is. It is. I really think it is, seriously. So, tell us about touring. I mean, you gonna go on tour with these
Oh,
guys?
I don't
These
know.
gentlemen?
I don't know if we're gonna go on tour. It's just kind of a one-off thing, but he wants to do some more recording, and we're thinking about maybe doing an EP of some plasmatic songs and a couple more original songs. So that'll be pretty cool.
You're gonna re-release some of
Well,
the
no,
old songs?
that would be a new release, some new recordings.
There you go. There you go. That's
Yeah, actually,
awesome.
the Plasmatics catalog is available at plasmatics.com. So there's kind of a shameless plug there.
I wish I've known about that. You know what? I can put that I'll add that to your page when I put this up.
Sure, sure. And you can tell any of your listeners if they're interested in getting something and they want it autographed, just put a note in the comments section, and I'd be happy to autograph it for them.
I know one person in particular that probably would. They would be on top of that, and that's Bobby Lay, because he loves punk bands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I'll probably
Cool.
have to send you a note.
Sure.
So, tell us about, some of the things you've done in your career.
Well, quite a few. I was in a band before the Plasmatics called the Accidents, and we kind of toiled around CBGBs, and we got some airplay on a late night news program on punk rock. And we toiled around for a while in the early stages at CBGB's and Max's Kansas City, which was really cool. And then that band kind of dissolved, and everybody went into bigger and better bands.
Yeah,
And I saw an ad in the Village Voice looking for the world's fastest rhythm guitar player. And of course, that was my forte.
yeah.
So I answered it, and it turned out it was the Plasmatics.
The woman. Tell us about Stacy. What was it like working with her? Because I
Oh,
know she's done some crazy shit, man.
you mean Wendy? Wendy O. Williams?
Is that her why did I call her Stacy?
I
I'm
don't
thinking of
know.
some
Yeah, Wendy O.
I don't
Williams.
know.
She was incredible. In fact, the first time I met her was in her loft where she lived in Lower Manhattan and where we had a rehearsal space. And when I met her, she was in a bathtub in the middle of their kitchen, completely naked, and she just looked at me and she says, "Oh, you must be Wes, the new guitar player." She says, "I'm Wendy," and looked at her. I says, "Oh, well, nice to meet you, Wendy." And that was kind of the start of a pretty incredible run.
Butt ass naked, huh?
Yeah, completely. And that was Wendy. She was just such a great person. She was like a sister to us. You know, she watched over the rest of the band. She pushed us, and she was really fabulous. And
I know Michael Givens told me a story about her, I guess she showed up at the show from a helicopter and was chasing a school bus. Is that correct? You could tell me about that.
oh yeah, yeah, that was the promotional video we did for a song called "The Damned" off our Coup d'Etat album, and we filmed that out in the Arizona desert. And what she did was she got up on a school. She drove a school bus down the desert. Then she climbed up on the roof of the school bus. And as the school bus ran into a wall of TVs, she jumped off, and the TVs and school bus blew up.
Holy shit.
We never
Wow.
did anything small. Everything we ever did was really big.
Yeah, sounds like it.
We used to blow up cars on stage, and nobody does stuff like that anymore.
No, I don't even think most cities would probably allow that anymore. They're no fun.
And most cities didn't really allow it then, but what we would do was our road manager would take the local fire marshals and the officials out for lunch before the show and tell them that everything was controlled and we knew what we were doing and it was just like a show. And of course we didn't, and everything was by the seat of our pants.
That is funny. Lied to him. "Oh, we're just gonna blow some shit up. It's okay.
Right, exactly, and we sure did.
Be on standby, by the way." So, what we was just talking about a minute ago, um, Kiss. You toured with Kiss.
Yeah, we toured with Kiss. When we recorded our Coup d'Etat album, that was done for Capitol Records, and we did that in Germany with the Scorpions producer Dieter Dirks. And there was talk about us doing a arena tour. So we were thinking bands like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden, something like that.
Yeah.
Then they came, and Kiss was doing the Creatures of the Night tour, which was their last tour with makeup. And they weren't selling, seats, they had been kinda on the decline for a while, so they were looking to fill some more seats, so they invited us to open for them.
That's awesome.
'Cause we help sell, 2 or 3,000, tickets a night.
Have they ever toured without makeup?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, after that tour, they took the makeup off for a while.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I think,
yeah.
God, how many years ago was that? I know I'd went. It was either before I had my daughter, well, my last child, or after, and I know they had makeup there because they played, oh my god, what the hell is the name of this stadium here? Riverfront Coliseum in Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember going
yeah.
there.
Yeah, they took the makeup off for a while, and then when they did their reunion tour, they put the makeup back on, till the end, so
So, are you going to tour at all moving forward, or are you just kinda done with that?
I'm probably done with it. My getting along in years and just physically not the same as I was. I had a car accident about 15 years ago, broke my knee, so I can't
Wow.
move around as much as I used to. So
But you could still play though, right?
still play, right, right. I still enjoy playing, still write music and make
That's
some noise.
awesome. So, the new guys, I mean, when, if they asked you to go to a show, maybe do a cameo, you gonna be up for that?
Well, sure. I mean, I'd be available for that.
There you go. There you go,
Mhm.
give it a little bit. I don't
Right.
see, musicians kinda have it hard. I mean, in the movie industry, you can kinda go, for a month, you're there, or 2, but touring, I mean, I know so many musicians. My dad was a musicians. All my friends are musicians, and it's just like, they go on these tours, and they are gone for half over half the damn year,
Oh,
if not
sure.
longer.
Yeah, it's really grueling. I don't know if people realize how hard it is. And
Yeah.
we used to rehearse all the time. I mean, we would constantly and our schedule was every other day of rehearsals, usually from 6 to 10 at night, and all day Saturday and all day Sunday. And I did that for years.
Yeah.
Wendy would push us, and she was incredible.
Yeah.
She had so much energy and stamina. I mean, she would jog 5, 6 miles a day,
Phew.
and we would rehearse. If our rehearsals were would run through our set like it was a live show with the same intensity and energy level. So
Yeah.
we'd finish the set, we'd be sweating and panting for air. Wendy would look at us and she'd say, "Oh, let's do it again." And we couldn't say no, so we'd do it again.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Right, right, exactly. So it was a lot of work involved, took a lot of time, but it
Wow.
was well worth it.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're doing something you love, blowing shit up with a
Right. Hmm.
hot naked girl half, half naked. There you go, score.
Right. Oh, hey, there was one show we did in California, and it wasn't announced. And we just played. They just announced it that evening, and Wendy comes out on stage, and they said absolutely no cameras, and she was completely nude. That
Oh,
was the first
wow.
and only time she ever did that. It was quite something, and she didn't tell us about it. It was a surprise to us.
What is the craziest thing? I know you musicians got crazy stories, I know that. I wanna hear some crazy stories about some stuff that you guys have done.
Well, they're all pretty crazy. I mean, every show was wild. We used to do this thing that we called the chicken gag, where we would have cages of chickens up on the ceiling of the clubs.
Oh,
And
wow.
at a certain point in the show, Wendy would take a shotgun, shoot at the ceiling, and the cages would open up, and all these chickens would be running around on the stage, and the road crew would be out corralling them and catching them, and it was pretty wild.
Damn, that's a good shot to
Yeah,
shoot
yeah,
them. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Wow.
And then she'd also have they'd rig up these bags of flour on the ceiling as well. She'd shoot the shotgun at the flour bags, and then they'd open up and cover the front row with flour. So everybody in the front row would be white and covered in flour.
Is that what some of those pictures are on your page where you guys are all, like, really, really white?
It could be. It could be. And then we used to have these flower pots on stage, and at various points in the show, Wendy would smash the flower pots on the stage, and then she'd take the dirt and throw it at the people in the front row and put dirt on herself. And if you went to a plasmatic show, it was something.
Oh, hell yeah, it sounds like that'd be one of the shows, yeah, I would go to. I like seeing crazy shit because there are a lot of musicians, I've been to a lot of concerts where some of it's just boring, and I think, as far as I didn't get to see you guys play, but one of the craziest shows that I've been to, and I love their music, Rob Zombie.
Oh, Rob Zombie. Yeah, his shows
He
are great. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah.
he puts on the craziest, wildest shit on his
Mhm.
shows, man.
Mhm.
I can dig it. I really
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got some great songs too.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. And, I mean, I don't understand how them people walk with them suits. Those real tall s
Mhm.
s back and forth. I would fall and probably take everybody down that would be right there wearing one of
Uh-huh.
those things.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing I always wanted to do is maybe get some stilts and try and walk on stilts and play, but never
I
did.
wasn't taking that chance, was ya?
No, no.
I hear you. Good God, man.
But when we
So
recorded when we recorded our first album for Stiff Records, we were going over to England to do a show, and we were playing the Hammersmith Odeon. It was sold out.
yeah,
So the Greater London Council came to see us because we were going to blow up a car on stage. So they wanted to see how this was going to go down because they were worried about explosions and things like
yeah.
that. So our pyro guy took them outside and blew up a car outside, not the one we were going to blow inside. So they saw that and they said, "Okay, no way, you guys can't blow up a car in the Hammersmith Odeon." So he says, "Well, we'll put the charges in the car and we'll just, knock the doors off. We won't set them off, or, we'll make it look like it's blowing up." They said no. And then Wendy is one of the finales of the show. She chainsaws a guitar in half, and they said, "No, you can't chainsaw the guitar," because they were worried about the, chain breaking from the saw and going out into the audience and, causing some harm. Now, this is something we had done across the country. We've blown up cars in cities all across the country. She's chainsawed a guitar at every show we ever played with no problem, no mishaps, and nobody got hurt.
Yeah.
But they said no. So our manager said, "Okay, well, how about if we take the audience, we put everybody up in the balcony so then nobody could get hurt with the chainsaw?" And again, the Greater London Council, they said no. So end result was the show was banned and we didn't get to play, even though it was sold out. So that was a very major disappointment. And we had been in England for 2 weeks rehearsing and getting ready, doing publicity. So that
Wow.
was really a tough blow. So we went back to New York and kind of as a show to the fans and to make up for it, we built a stage on the end of a pier in Lower Manhattan. And the stage was filled with explosives. So we came out. We came by a helicopter, brought us to this area, and Wendy got into a Cadillac, drove the Cadillac towards the stage, and we ran off the stage. Cadillac ran into the stage, blew up. The whole stage blew up, and the Cadillac ended up in the East River. So that was quite a spectacular show.
Damn. London, get your shit in order. If they wanted to blow
Right.
something up, you should have let them.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
I mean, those sound like fun shows. I don't London, I don't know, out there in that area, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but damn, they don't even let their police office the officers carry guns. What is
Right. Right.
that?
And
What are they gonna do?
everything closes down at like midnight, and it's really really something.
Really?
But the whole thing about it was that, punk rock at that time, it was 1980, and,
Yeah.
was starting to die down, and they were afraid that we were gonna incite the people and bring back, punk, and
Good lord. So everything closes over there at 12
it
or
did when we
early?
were over there. Yeah, everything closed early, and
Wow, that's boring. I'd be bored,
exactly, that's usually when I would go out at
right?
12.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, as if you're an American and you're touring over there in London, and all those places, you're gonna wanna see everything, and the best time also would probably be go at night because
Mhm.
the clubs and everything that's going on over there, so for them to shut down early, they I don't know if they realize that you guys are losing a lot of money. That is for sure. What is the prettiest place you've been?
I really have a fondness for Germany. I just think that the countryside is beautiful, lush, and green. And I've been through the Black Forest and toured Germany on a number of occasions with my post plasmatics band, Shock Therapy. And we toured there with the Plasmatics. We played Berlin, Hamburg. We did
Wow,
we did the Music Laden TV show there in Bremen.
wow.
We had really good time, really good crowds.
My son was stationed over there in Germany, and he sent me a bunch of pictures, and it did look beautiful, but he ended up getting robbed.
Well, that's no good.
Somebody stole his wallet.
Wow.
Like, "Man, don't you need your ID?" "Oh, no, I'm in the military." "Doesn't matter, you're still gonna need your ID eventually."
Right, right. And we toured Europe, and we saw a lot of beautiful countries. I mean, France was really nice, and Italy.
Oh, my home. Yeah, I'm Italian and Indian, my family is kind of from, Sicily.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm a mean woman. 2 different types of Indian and Italian. I am a mean person. No, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty friendly till you set that
Uh-huh.
alarm off. But Italy is a place I have been dying to go. I'm actually trying to get dual citizenship.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been working on that.
mhm.
We'll see how that goes.
It was nice. We stayed at a hotel that was just down the street from the Coliseum, so we could walk down and,
Oh.
check out the Coliseum. I mean, the food was great, and
You should have played a show at the Coliseum and asked them if you could have blew something up in the middle of the Coliseum.
I don't think that would have gotten over too good.
That would have been a good idea right there.
Uh-huh.
So, what is the longest you've been on tour for?
Well, we didn't really tour for long amounts of times, probably, couple months, maybe 2.5 months. But we did some
Not
things
too
where
bad.
we'd tour across the country, then we'd come back, then we went over to Europe for a few weeks, and then would come back. And it was always, this cycle of touring and then, working on new material and recording and then touring and coming back and working on new material.
It's always the same.
Right, right, same cycle. Yep.
A lot of people, they think, the industry, they don't understand, yeah, you have to love to do what you're doing, but it's also a job, you know?
Right. Oh, it's definitely a job, yeah.
Uh,
And it's hard work and it's real dedication. You have to dedicate yourself, especially if you're a musician, because you're always pushing yourself.
yeah,
And that was a nice thing I liked with the Plasmatics is we started out as a punk rock band and we kept working at it and we kept getting better and better and when we became like more of a heavy metal type band. But we never thought of ourselves as a punk rock band or a heavy metal band. We just thought of ourselves as a rock band, and those were tags that the journalists would put on us.
of course, mainstream media, gotta love it.
Right. Mhm. Mhm.
So, speaking of the media, have they ever written anything about you that you didn't really want out there or, made up back
Oh,
then?
of course, of course. I was talking to you about that chicken gag with the chickens. There
Mhm.
was a journalist in Texas who said that we were killing chickens. Now, Wendy is the biggest animal lover there was on the planet. I mean, she loved animals, and we took care of the chickens. And actually, what we would do is we would rent them from the slaughterhouse, take them out on a tour, and then be the stars of the show for a brief time, and then would take them back. And of course, they would be slaughtered and sold. So we actually gave him a rescue for a brief time. But this journalist said that, we were killing chickens and raised up this stink and wrote a big article in the local newspaper and it got a lot of attention. And as a
Yeah.
result, we had to curtail that and we never did it again.
They ruin shit, they think. I mean, I that's why I do the interviews I do, because I won't censor anybody. That's what I told you before, in the beginning.
Hmm.
Well, not today, but a couple days ago. I won't. And the reason why, because say you're on Facebook and then they see something and then they're going to remove it. The good thing about this is my shit is on Google. Good luck to you. All you're seeing is a link. You know what I
Uh-huh. You're
mean?
right.
You don't even know what the hell we're talking about. I prefer it that way, and I don't edit anything that anybody talks about in these segments because
Uh-huh.
why? You know, and it's actually coming out of that person's mouth and mainstream media can't spin it, you know.
Right. Right.
I don't really care for the mainstream media too much.
Oh, no, no, exactly.
I really don't. They're so full of shit anymore.
I mean, that was always our motto: "Fight the status quo." And she always used to say, we would draw a line in the sand, and then we would step over that line. And that
There
was the
you go.
plasmatics. We always pushed the envelope, and we were all for free speech and anarchy, basically.
That's the way it should be. Well, I mean,
Hmm.
not as far as too much anarchy, but I mean, as far as the free speech and all of that, I believe, people should say, and that's actually I put that in my credits. People come in so they don't get ridiculed by mainstream media. You know,
Hmm.
it's not right, and that's why a lot of people don't really want to do interviews because they spin it. So who the hell wants to do an interview when they're just going to spin it whatever way they want to spin it anyway?
Hmm.
You
Right.
know, they'd rather just not do the damn interview, which kinda sucks for fans. Even in both industries, it really does suck for fans because they wanna hear what the people have to say, but then when they finally get that interview, they turn it into some other shit, you know?
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't get it.
But in the music business, bad press is just as good as good press. Just get your name out there.
That'd probably be the fastest way to get a name out there, actually. Chickens blown up in arena. There you go. There's your headline. So, besides bass and guitar, can you play any other instruments?
Well, I was a trained saxophone player, and I took saxophone lessons all through elementary school and high school and college.
I
I was
did
in,
too.
yeah, I was in the marching band in college.
Marching band. So you
Mhm.
went from marching bands to explosions.
Right, right, yeah.
I
And the
love it.
first, the first real professional band I was in, I played saxophone in, but, I was always in the back, and the sax player didn't get all the girls, so I decided I'd switch to guitar, try my luck.
Yep, and I know about guitar players, trust me. My like I said, my dad was one, and everybody,
Mhm.
back then they asked me, they were like, "You date musicians?" Nope. It's nothing personal towards musicians because they're all my friends and I love them to death, but I know how you guys are. I watched my dad.
Uh-huh.
He was a hoe.
And he
You know?
probably didn't watch it at Eight Magicians anyway.
Well, you know what? What he mattered didn't really matter too much to me back then, you know?
Uh-huh.
But I learned a lot from seeing him.
Mhm.
He played with, Bobby Mackey. You've heard of Bobby Mackey's Music World?
No, no, I
They
don't
do a
think
lot of ghost hunting there now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's been on, like, those paranormal shows. Bobby I know Bobby and Gary, his brother Gary and his wife, um, but he would always go and play there. It's haunted. Really
Hmm.
cool place, actually, really. But, I mean, I just watched from him hoeing around. I'm like, "Yeah, musicians aren't gonna be a good idea for me." You know? No offense to anybody.
Uh-huh.
So, have you been married? Have you been with anybody, like,
Oh, I'm
stuck
married. Yeah, I've been married for over 30 years. I have 2 kids. Got a 26-year-old daughter, 23-year-old son.
there you go. So, are they playing any bands? They singing?
No, no. They like music, but they're more into video games and computers.
What is the deal with that, man?
I don't know. 24/7, both of them.
Oh my god, I just wanna rip the video game out of my daughter's hand sometimes because it's so friggin' annoying, you know what I mean? I'm like, "Good god, I can't stand them." I'm not a gamer.
Uh-huh. No, I mean, I don't have time. I'd like to. I just don't have the time.
I wouldn't even if I did have the time,
But
and
but amazingly enough, both my kids are really into music. They know a lot of music. My daughter especially is into all kinds of this K-pop stuff now and Japanese anime music, things like that. And
yeah.
they were both great at Guitar Hero when that first came out.
They ever try to pick up a regular guitar?
Not really. My daughter dabbled with keyboards, and my son played a little electronic drums briefly, but that's about it.
I did, the keyboards. I love listening to, like, piano stuff, but my dad because he was pretty fast too. I mean, probably nowhere near, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But he would go so fast, he picked a guitar like a banjo, and he would just move. And I
Hmm.
asked him one day, I was like, "Dad," I was like, "Will you show me how to play? I'd like to learn a little bit, or at least learn." And he just started going so fast. And I'm like, "Can you please slow down and slow the fuck down." And he's like, "Start," and he couldn't, and I'm like, "You know
Really?
what? Fuck it. I don't even wanna learn." And then I tried it again. It was probably a year later. I'm like, "Okay, do
Hmm.
you think you can slow down this time?" I don't know. I don't think he had another gear. And I'm like,
Hmm.
"I'm not even worried about it anymore. I'm good." But I love sitting there and just listening
Uh-huh.
to them play. Anybody that plays. I even have my little nephew come over here with his guitar. I'm like, "Bring your guitar, come on," you know what I mean? It's just it's good to listen to, I like it.
Right. Well, these days there's so many tools for you on the internet. I mean, anybody can learn guitar. And I was in music retail for a number of years, and I would tell everybody, anybody can learn guitar. Everybody learns at their own pace. So don't, some people pick it up real fast, some real slow. I mean, myself, I was kind of a slow. Took me a long time to get going.
I'd probably be 75 before I actually learned how to play. They'd be like, yeah, you
But
gotta leave the nursing
there's so
home."
much on YouTube now, it's just amazing. Back in the old days, I used to play along with records and stuff, and that was hard to do.
My daughter learns because I knew a little bit on the keyboard, and I still she jacked my keyboard from me, she's got it in her room, and, I heard her because I'd got out of the shower and I thought I was hearing a Linkin Park, well, it wasn't Linkin Park, it was Fort Minor, basically, a song, and I coulda swore that's what I was hearing. So I didn't know if it was the radio or if it was her, and then I come to the bottom of the stairs and I was like, "Cadence," and she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you playing Fort Minor?" She goes, "Yeah, I learned 10 songs on YouTube
Mm,
today."
mm,
I'm like, "What the hell, man?"
yeah,
Her
mhm,
name, that's the
mm.
one I said was named after the band Kiss.
Uh-huh.
Cadence Kiss is
Oh,
her
that's a
real
nice
name.
name, very pretty.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I gave up the
Mhm.
debate. I was like, "I picked the first name, you can pick the middle name," and I was happy with Cadence, and he was like, "Well, let's just name her Kiss, because that's tattooed on his arm, on his freaking motorcycle." I'm like, "Oh god, I'm not even gonna try to win this war." So that's what we call Cadence Kiss. But, we always mess with her, as far as her name, but, I mean, just learning that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
It's so hard, and the way she picked it up, I just couldn't believe it, like, it blew my mind, man.
Yeah, some people just have a natural affinity for music and
Yeah,
talent.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
what advice do you have for people jumping into this industry?
Well, do your homework, practice, be on time, always play in tune,
Yeah,
and get a good education because you might need something to fall back on.
you hear that? You can't always rely on music to pay the bills anyway.
That's right.
But do you know anybody who does, like, really good training for people that would be interested in that, or is it pretty much search your local area?
Yeah, pretty much search your local area, but they're out there. There's some great instructors out there, and go to local music stores. A lot of times they give lessons, or they can recommend somebody for lessons. And like I said, on YouTube, there's just so much information, so
Yeah.
many tutorials, so many things. I mean, I watch it all the time and pick up things.
What
Yeah,
about
the
on the
nice thing,
business end?
well, on the business end, you really got to be careful.
Yeah,
Um, you know, get a good music lawyer. And if you get any contracts, go over them carefully and go over them with an attorney.
yeah. I always tell people, in this industry, well, either industry, you're not always going to make it.
No,
So,
of
you
course
have
not.
to be prepared for that,
Right.
and
But
it's
if you love it, do it. And that's the way. That was always my approach. I did it because I love music. I love performing. I
yeah.
love meeting the fans. I mean, I was never in it for the money. If I was in it for the money, I would have been long gone.
That is the big topic, and that's another thing, that we bring up a lot in these because a lot of people, they just wanna do stuff. "Oh, get the girls, I'm gonna get rich, I'm gonna get famous, I'm gonna do this," you know what I mean?
Hmm.
No, because sometimes it's not always gonna work like that. If you don't like what you're doing, you know, chances are you're not going to succeed. You need
Right.
to be doing it for the right reasons if you really wanna succeed, because if you're doing it for the wrong ones, you're not going to succeed.
Exactly. And these days,
Yeah.
the music industry has changed so much. There's no tour support like they used to be. There's no record support like they used to be. And these days, you can do a lot yourself. You can press your own records or your own CDs. You can sell them. You
Yeah.
know, Streaming services pay you nothing. You know,
I hate
Spotify, you get a million hits, and you got quarter.
see, I can't that sucks because, I mean, a friend of mine, I'd had this conversation previously, and I asked him, I was like, "Sometimes is it really worth it?" And he told me, he was like, "Well, I made $65,000 the 1 year." I'm like, I made more than that when I had my painting business. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Like, so, I was like, "But then you're away from your family for so long."
Mhm.
Is it really worth it? I
Mm,
get
mhm.
couldn't you do another portion of the music industry, you know?
I used to get fans all the time who would think, we'd be on the road, I'd be talking to them, and they'd think we were making hundreds of thousands of dollars when, we were barely surviving, would make a few $100 and that was about it. But you're playing these sold out shows and, it's all the people see up on stage and it's the perception, but the reality is far different.
Yeah. That's in both industries.
But like I said, I love to do it, so and I still love
Streaming's
to do it.
taking it over though, that's why.
Right, definitely has. Yeah.
And I mean, I believe if they're making millions, well, more than that, damn, billions,
Mhm.
from all the artists. And that's why everybody was, on strike for that period of time because of the streaming. And I guess they've reached, it's over, they've reached agreements, but is it really good enough?
Right, right.
You
So,
know?
bands make money, with merchandise and, selling their T-shirts and
Yeah.
things like that, and, it's tough
Ticket
advertising
sales,
too.
right? From the tours, musicians get pretty good chunk of change from the ticket sales, right? I
But a
mean, I
lot
get
of
it, you
that
got a couple
yeah,
bands.
you get money from that, but a lot of that money goes to pay the expenses. I
Yeah,
mean, I was in the band for probably 2 years before I saw a dime because every dollar we made was poured back into the band for recording, for the stage shows, for touring, for, paying the crew. So we didn't take any money out for a long time.
wow,
I remember going to CBGB's and, our sound man would be eating dinner and I couldn't afford to buy a drink.
damn, that's crazy,
Mhm, mhm.
seriously. But, I mean, how much was you guys spending on them shows that you guys were doing?
Oh,
Because y
tons. We spent
yeah.
everything. Like I said, we poured every dollar back into the shows, especially when, we were blowing up cars and things like that.
Yeah, because you would need one pretty much in every city.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It was an expensive, operation.
So, what do you think you would have been able to save more money had you cut back a little bit on blowing up cars or
Well, it wouldn't have been the same. I mean, that
Yeah,
was it, that's what brought the people in.
that's true, that's true.
And it was also, it was showing, we were anti-materialism. It's just an object. The car is just an object. The guitar is just an object, really, that's all it is.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mhm.
So now, okay, say you guys were still playing right now. Do you think you'd still be able to do those kind of shows right now?
No, I don't think so because because it's, after the tragedy in Providence, Rhode Island, where they had
Yeah,
the fire and, all those people were horribly killed, the industry has changed completely, so you can't use the flame cannons like we used to use, or you can't blow things up, and it's so tight, it's really hard to do.
they're taking all the fun out of it.
Right, right.
It's ridiculous. I mean, that's why you see some of the other shows and they're great, but it's like the shows back then, they won't do them. Everybody's always afraid of shit.
Mhm.
That's what I don't get. Like, they're all afraid. I know I got one question I do wanna ask. Okay. Now that I know that you and my cinematographer are related, I heard the news. What is one of the craziest things you 2 have done?
Craziest things we've done?
Craziest things you guys have done.
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, when
I'm
we were
calling you
kids
out, Gibbons.
we used to get into all kinds of trouble, with my, would go stay at my grandmother's house in Fountain Inn, South Carolina, and then he'd come up from, Pascagoula and stay there and would climb the trees next door and get into all kinds of trouble.
Oh, he's told me some shit that he's done.
Mhm.
I've heard the stories. Some of them. He didn't go into them about you, though.
Uh,
So I'm kinda curious, like, what do you guys been up to? What'd you
mhm.
guys do?
Yeah, we always had a good time.
So, out of the 2 of you, which one's the crazier cousin?
Oh, probably me, no doubt.
You don't
He
think
was
he's running a race with you at all?
well, I'm sure he's quite, a little bit behind me, but I'm a little older, so I have a little few more years on him of craziness.
That is so funny. So you're not gonna give me the dirt. He's like, "No, I'm not gonna call him out like that." It's okay, I'll call you afterwards, Given. Watch.
So how do you know Michael?
He's actually the cinematographer on my movie
Oh,
that
is that
we're
right?
doing. The Shattered Dreams movie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I talked to him for a while. Come to find out, it was kind of weird because when I first got into this industry years ago, I'd taken one of his act well, I didn't take it in person, but he did an
Mhm.
online acting thing,
Mhm.
like a class, and I sat in for it. And it was supposed to be like an hour and a half, and I still mess with them over this, but it was 3 hours. And all I know is my kids, they were sitting there like, "Are you friggin' done yet? Are you friggin' done yet?" I'm like, "I am not gonna friggin' hang this up until he's done talking." And then what was funny was not even I think it might have been a year and a half later, we had the first conversation. Um, it's when the movie was first, we were writing it and all of that. And I went ahead and brought him in. I was like, I told him about the story. He was interested. And I told him, I was like, I took one of your classes, He's like, "You did?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." Well, I sat in on it, whatever, same thing. And then ever since then, we've just been friends. Me, his wife, the baby,
Mhm.
little Gigi. But I talk to them probably every other day.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. And then when I said he had mentioned you, you know how it is when you get busy. You're doing
Mhm.
50,000 things and you forget. I could tell myself to do something right now, and I guarantee 12 o'clock tonight, I'm not going to remember. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just because, like you said, it's those hours, not enough hours in the damn day.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
much going on.
Yeah. But he told me some stories that he's done in LA. I'm like, man, oh man, it's so wondering you didn't get arrested. But I mean, it's cool. I love people like that. I can't stand the people who are more like high up, the I'm better than you are
Mhm. Right,
attitude. I
right.
can't
Yeah.
stand that type of attitude. Diva, can't stand it. I'm
Mhm.
more of I grew up with 8 brothers.
Wow.
Does that tell you anything? Yeah.
That's why you're a tough cookie.
Yeah, I mean, we've done some crazy shit, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, there was
Mhm.
times we went four-wheeling, oh my god, in a school. This was years ago. Imma tell on myself. We've jumped school buses and stuff, that's why I thought it was really cool when he had told me about the bus.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm like, "How we used to jump them on dirt bikes." We ride and jump them. And I asked, I was like, "Was she ever a stunt person?" Because to do
No, no.
that
She did all her own stunts. She did a video where she, was in a plane, or she was in a car driving, towards a cliff. A plane came by with the ladder. She got on the ladder, climbed up into the plane. The car went off the cliff. And she did all her own stunts.
wow,
I remember when we were filming out in the desert watching her on the roof of the bus, so just watching it like, well, there's our career right there if anything happens to her.
right? Oh my god. I mean, I couldn't imagine because 1 second you miss and that's it.
Right, but
It's
she was
definitely
fearless, and she wanted to try everything, do everything, live life to the fullest, and that's the way she did.
that's the way it should be.
She's wrestled alligators, and
That's the one thing I don't think I'd do. I'd
she
probably do
once
crazy
she
shit.
once, was in Manhattan jogging, and there was a, Miss Universe contest going on. She just walked in off the street and took 2nd place. So that shows you
Whoa,
how good she was. She worked out every day. She, like I said,
damn.
jogged 5 or 6 miles. All the time she had, headphones on and a Walkman practicing the songs for the set.
Wrestling gators.
Oh, yeah.
See, I mean, I'm down with the other crazy shit, but you don't mess with an animal. That's going to literally crush you if it gets you.
Mhm. Mm,
I'm good. I'll pass on that one.
mhm, mm.
That is crazy, I swear. So, your kids, they know, they got to meet her, right, and hang out with her also?
No, no, they didn't. No, she
No?
passed away, just after my daughter was born.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kinda sad.
That is sad.
Mhm,
I am sorry for your loss on that. I know what it's like. I mean, I lost 2 people this year. Um, I lost my brother in February, and then I lost my nephew in August.
oh, sorry.
So, I mean, I know how that is. When you're close with somebody, especially somebody, when you're touring, that's family.
Mhm.
You're in a band, that's family. You guys fight, you make up, it's family.
Right, right, one of the drummers we played with passed away this year.
Wow.
That was kinda sad.
It's a shitty year, man.
Yep,
I'm telling
yep,
you what, I'm
it's
ready to get this
almost
damn year
over.
over.
It's almost over, go on to the next one.
Right, there you go. Next year will be better.
Yeah,
All you keep in your head right there.
mhm.
So, as far what got you started, coming on people's podcasts?
Well, I started being, active on Twitter, and, people started contacting me and asking me if I'd, do their podcasts, and I said, "Sure."
On Twitter?
Yeah.
See,
Mhm,
I get on there. I have an account, but I don't really get on there too much. Every once in a while, I remember to jump over there and share something.
mhm,
But Instagram, that's another one. I'll post something every once in a while, but I kind of keep it between, the professional platforms and then like Facebook. I've got the different groups and stuff on Facebook,
mhm.
but it's just, there are so many platforms. It's just so freaking hard to keep up with all of it. And
Right, I don't like Facebook, I think that's a little too intrusive, but
yeah,
Twitter I like, it's really cool, I've met a lot of people on there, and like I said, I've, had a lot of contacts and got a lot of, podcasts from that. In fact, I recently did one that, is just posted called Nothing's Shocking.
nothing shocking.
Yeah. Mhm. Mm.
Was it shocking?
No, nothing shocking. Eh,
You know what I don't like about Twitter? I think Twitter would be cool, but the one thing I cannot stand about Twitter is you can only type so much,
oh, right,
just a
yeah.
little bit, and
Uh-huh.
then they take it all away. You know what I mean? I'm like, what
Right.
the hell, man? I
Well, that makes you focus your thoughts a little more clearer and get right to the point.
that just pisses me off. Because what if I have a little bit more to say than the 300 little characters or whatever they give you?
Now then you have to go to the direct message and,
Oh my goodness. Elon Musk, you own that company. Change that shit.
yeah, he's pretty much running it into the ground, but, it's fun while it's lasting.
Yeah, I mean, I think if there were a couple things on a couple different platforms, like my mom, she's 73 and it took her forever to learn Facebook.
Mhm.
And then they go and up and change it, to where you got to bounce back and forth between all these different pages and she's going to have to relearn it all.
Then I've been exposed to a lot of new music on, Twitter and,
Wow.
so, yeah, I really enjoy it.
They've
It's
been
kind of addicting though.
Is it? See,
Yeah.
that's how it is with Facebook sometimes. For
Mhm,
me, because I
mhm.
guess because it's easier to operate, that's probably why I like it a little bit, but I don't know. I'll have to play on there and see. Play around, see what I can learn. Music, where the hell are they hiding all the music at on Twitter?
Well, they people post it,
Okay.
they post songs and things on there.
Then I'm in the wrong damn groups. For all I keep getting are these people that keep bugging me, always trying to sell me shit.
Oh, yeah,
So
that too, but I've
annoying.
I've got a lot of good stuff off of there.
Really?
Surprisingly enough, yeah,
See, I
yeah.
don't I don't trust if I can't have a conversation with somebody or they
Mhm.
can't actually like pick up the phone, then I'm not going to trust to pay some of these people for the services that they keep approaching me with because I don't trust that easy, you
Mhm.
know? So I have a little issue with that, you know?
Mostly merchandise, not, Not so
Ah,
much services, but,
yeah, there you go. See, I don't merchandise, yeah, I get, you know,
mhm,
but the other stuff, I don't know, because you never know if they're gonna hack you or what the hell is gonna go on, you know?
mhm.
You never know.
Right, these days, can't be too careful.
No. Nope, and I try to be very careful
Mm,
when it
yeah,
comes to that.
mm.
So, when you, when are you gonna go and visit your cousin? You gonna go down that way? Because 'Cause we're probably gonna be filming in Atlanta.
I don't know, I don't get out that much due to my, work schedule, I just, don't have that much time, I'd like to. I've been meaning to go see him and his brother sometime or
There
head
you
back
go.
down to the South, but I haven't been down there in years. I haven't seen him in a number of years.
So, where are you living at? What
I
state are
live
you
in the Detroit suburbs.
Oh, you're not far. You're not far from me.
Where are you?
Ohio, Cincinnati?
Oh, Cincinnati, yeah.
You're 4
Mhm.
hours away.
Yeah, that's not too far.
No.
Yeah.
You guys got snow up there yet?
No, it's raining now. We had snow, a little just dusting last week, but, now we're getting rain, light showers, and
Was it a little warmer up there?
a little bit. We're in the, upper 40s right now. Supposed to get near 50 sometime this week.
Yeah, it's weird. The weather's been
Mhm.
acting weird. Michigan, I mean, it gets so cold up there. My mom lived in Wisconsin for a little bit, and I dreaded going up
Mhm.
there to visit. In July, I was freezing my ass off at that big music festival they have in Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
I was freezing my ass off. I told her, I was like, "I gotta go. When you move to Florida, call me. I'll go there. But I am not coming back up here. You're gonna have to come down there." And the weather is so bipolar, but here we're kinda in the middle, you know what I
Mhm.
mean, as far as weather-wise anyway. But there, I don't know if I'd make it, man. For
I like to change the seasons, I can do without some of the cold winters. I don't mind the cold too much and the snow I kinda like, but, the wind, when the cold wind blows, I
Ugh.
don't like that at all.
From the lakes.
Right, mhm.
Yeah, the Great Lakes. It is pretty, though. It is.
Mhm. Yeah, very nice.
That's the one thing I can say. I mean, so how long have you been in Detroit?
Since '86.
Oh, so you've lived there for a long time.
Yep,
Oh,
yep, pretty
wow.
much, yeah.
There you
I
go.
actually took a break from the band, because Wendy had gone to St. Louis to do the Rocky Horror Picture Show, a musical. So, we were kinda taking a hiatus and practicing writing songs, and I was just kinda getting disillusioned with the whole thing, and, I just needed a break, so I stepped away from the band.
Yeah.
And they toured without me for about a year, and then I went back and started, working as associate producer on the next record. And then they said, "Well, you wanna play a little guitar on?" I said, "Okay," and one thing led to another. I wrote songs for it, and then I rejoined the band for the
You're
duration.
back.
Yep. Uh-huh.
It's kind of Freddie Mercury situation right there. I swear. I did have you seen that movie, The Bohemian
Oh,
Rhapsody?
yeah, that was a great movie, yeah.
Where he leaves and then comes back. It's
Mhm,
that last scene, I really wanted to see them, really, and I
mhm.
think my sister was lucky enough to go and see them back
Oh,
then.
really? Yeah, I never saw him.
I really wanted to see them. I'm kinda disappointed. So, I kinda think when I'm watching that movie, that last scene, the
Mhm.
show, it's almost like you're there. So, I'll crank the shit up, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm there. I can dig it.
Uh-huh, right.
Things I do, I entertain myself, man.
Mhm,
When you don't have much of a life outside of working every single day, you gotta do something to entertain
mhm.
yourself,
Right.
you blow up
Mhm.
cars.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm telling you what, that's funny. No, well, when you do go down there, I'll have to make a trip down there. Hang
Yeah,
out, man.
yeah.
Seriously.
Uh-huh.
It'd be cool.
Exactly. Yeah, be fun.
So you got your guitar by you?
Sure, I got all kinds of guitars by me.
I gotta make you play a little something.
I got a room full of I
Is
had
that
a
a
room full of
Gibson?
guitars. Yeah, yeah, Gibson SG Modern.
It's pretty.
Oh, thanks.
I love guitars, man. I actually gotta buy my daughter one. She's taking it guitar this year,
Mhm.
so I'll be buying her one. So You gotta play something.
Oh, no,
No,
nothing
I'm just
nothing's
kidding.
plugged
I
in.
won't make you. I won't make you. I'm not that type of person.
Well, you go to YouTube and search, "Bloody Mess Wax Fruit," and you can hear me.
There you go. And I will do that. And I'm gonna add that link and the other link that you were just talking about. I'm gonna put both of those. You can just text them to me. That way there
Alright.
I have them correct and then put those on the page because lucky me, I'll be editing.
Uh-huh.
We'll get it all in there.
Alright.
But I do wanna thank you for coming on. It
Oh,
is
thank you
fun.
for having me. I enjoyed talking to you.
I love people, like, I really do.
Mhm.
People down to earth, cool, laid back.
Mhm.
Those are my types, you know, just normal people.
Yeah. Everybody's normal, you know? Even the biggest stars, they're just people. I mean, even the guys in Kiss, they're just people. To me, they were just another band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, some of them act like that, but they are normal people, but there are people up there with, you know, I am above thee and
Well, that's Gene and Paul, but,
really?
oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Paul?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. Damn.
But the rest of the band was really cool. I mean, and they were okay. I mean, you know.
Tell man, y'all gotta calm down. Hell yeah. Thank you, seriously, for coming on. I do appreciate that.
Oh, you're quite welcome, and,
Yep.
thank you.
And to everybody watching, see you next time. Bye.
I remember all those nights when I'd sing you to sleep, and the memory of your beautiful face, so sweet. My darling, won't you tell me you'll stay forevermore? And baby, all your cutest kisses I adore. Don't you miss feeling alive? All those nights where we laughed till we cried. Do you remember when we talked on the phone that first night and gazed upon the moon, blowing kisses to the sky? Darling, all our lives we've been lost and so alone. But baby, in your arms I finally found my home. And I've never felt so alive. Meeting you brought my heart back to life. In a world so cold and so tired, your puppet eyes set my soul on fire. On that night when I first gave my heart to yours, I was scared and feeling insecure. You told me, my darling, even on your darkest days, you'd always reassure